Pokemon. You know them, I know them, Queso knows them.
Oh, Lordy, oh! Oh, Lord, sir! Sir, oh my God! No!
And today I am doing a revised version of my Pokemon meet and greet custom video, which ultimately has some errors which I want to fix, the point of the video, which, I won't waste any time, let's start. So the first Pokemon I need to correct is Pikachu. Now last time I said that in 1999 Pikachu had 3 costumes, one for the London Toy Fair, the Nintendo 64 Smash Bros. And one for the release for the first Pokemon movie. Now what I said is correct, but there's actually a 4th and 5th 1990 Pikachu costume, one for E3 of the same year in May, and one for Warner Brothers Movie World in Australia. Now for the E3 suit, this would put the costume in the middle of the timeline for appearances, but actually all these costumes will be made during the same time, so yeah. Now the reason I failed to mention this costume is because after this event, it seems that it just retired, put away, and that many people don't talk about it. It's like a very obscure costume in the Pokemon world, which is kind of very disappointing as I really enjoyed this costume. It's almost like the London Toy Fair suit, but just improved upon. It's its own standalone suit, but it looks like the two. It looks pretty similar. And for the Pikachu suit in the Warner Brothers movie world in Australia, it was made for the release for the first Pokemon movie, and it was an attraction that lasted for December of 1999 to January of 2000. Just 1 month, it's kind of disappointing. Why just 1 month? Pokemon, was pretty big at that time, and documentation on this is quite sparse. But at least we have a high quality image of this Pikachu from the makers that made this suit being Character Creations, a company that will later make the Faucet Homes for Imaginary Friends suits and much more. I really like this costume as well. It's kind of derpy, kind of weird looking, but I enjoy it. I really like it. Yeah. Moving on, we have Delibird and Slowking. Now, Delibird is a costume that I forgot to put in while editing. Yeah, that's on me. That's mistake number one. That's really on me. So the earliest time I saw Delibird's costume make an appearance was in 2005 for a Pokepark with Slowking. Now, I said last time for Slowking that after Pokepark I couldn't find anything else, but looking around more I found the only thing was in 2005 Slowking and Delibird made an appearance in the Pokemon Center in Osaka. Well, after this there's no extra info on Slowking, sadly. However, for Delibird it does look like he appears somewhere else, but I'm not entirely sure where, as the original post for this has been taken down and the only thing remaining is these photos. So I couldn't see what they wrote, which is a shame. But here's a very high quality image of Delibird in 2005 for Pokepark for a treat. Now, after this, there's no extra information on these costumes. That's the end of that. Now, next up we have Croagunk, a costume which I made the same mistake as Delibird by forgetting him in the editing process. Again, my bad, mistake number 2. So Croagunk appeared around late 2006, early 2007, not sure the correct date on that. It made many appearances on Pokemon Center's Pokemon events, just around. However, it looks like now Croagunk has been retired as he's not made any appearances in a while. Or maybe I'm just blind. I'm not really sure on that part, but it's been a while since anybody's seen him. Yeah. Next up we have Plusle and Minun, a pair of Pokemon that caused many countless wars inside my mind, questioning my sanity. Anyways, after posting the OG Pokemon video and doing the 40th double check, I have found more info and I felt like I was kind of messy with the both of them. So, I'm fixing that now. So the first things first, I said that I believe these costumes were used for the Pokemon Center Monthly Pikachu with Plusle and Minun plush in 2005. That this is the origin. But, I'm completely wrong on that. You see, for the 7th Pokemon movie, Pokemon, what was it? Destiny Deoxys, there we go. That I had a brain fog right there. They made an appearance, and this is their origin. July 4th, 2004. Then later on, they will appear in 2005 for the monthly Pikachu. After this, they were used for the Pokemon Box American Tour in 2005 and for Pokemon's 10th anniversary in New York City in 2006. Anyways, Plusle was then seen in 2012 for a live show by Memoria Clever Z. Again, sorry for the mispronunciation. And then, for Minun, I found this image of them, but there's no information about it, just the image on there. So, that just covers about everything I'm pretty sure about these two. But, if I find anything else, I'll put in the description. Yeah. Never mind. Future me here. I just want to clarify this. After July 4th of 2004, they appeared in the Pokemon Festa of 2004, which started from July 17th to August the 15th in the same year. So it would have been the movie, then this, then it would have been the monthly Pikachu with Plus and Minun in 2005. I just want to clarify that. Yeah. And next up, we're taking a look at Squirtle and Charmander. Last time I had a real hard time trying to figure out these guys, as I swear their information is like everywhere and nowhere at the same time. It was quite the challenge to say lightly, but now I have a better understanding of these two. So it appears that the first appearance of Squirtle and Charmander took place before Nintendo Space World in 1999. From the image you can see the date says August the 21st, not the 1st, 21st, there we go. While Nintendo Space World was in August between the 27th and 29th. And yes, they could have appeared maybe even earlier, and that info is now lost, but the point is that they appeared before 1999 Space World. Nintendo. Wait, Nintendo, man, I said that completely backwards, but you get it, how I said it. The original video that I said it was this appearance that was first, no, I was wrong. But from this point forward, these two costumes will be separated. Now, Charmander will be used for the looks of things for promotional things. The best I found was this song called 151 Dreams, which, is a very, very catchy song. I have it stuck in my head. Anyways, in which he appeared. But afterwards, I found this post in 2007 with Charmander and Honor Pokemon in a mini greet, but I couldn't find anything on it as it was just posted with no, extra information. Now for Squirtle, after this Nintendo Space World, after those two got separated, he was in 200 plays, which after this seems to have been retired, sadly. Yeah. Now, for the next costume, it is my boy, Jirachi. Now, last time I said the only place I found a confirmed sighting of Jirachi was at St. Louis Union Station in Missouri. But I found out in 2004, the July 13th, that there was an airing for a promotional tie-in for the Jirachi movie. And it's just beautiful. Look at it. Listen, I was so happy when I found this. Now, the way I came across this is something I don't quite remember. It was kind of complicated. But to keep it short, I found this website in which they document broadcast airings of Pokemon shows, anime, and anything really for Pokemon. And one of these archives was a post detailing a Jirachi promo event and a baseball stadium and had these photos. So I was like, oh my goodness, wow, look, these are new photos, right? Now, this was my first time seeing these, and from what I could find, no one was talking about them. So my next task process was to find a video of this, right? Because as this came from a recording of some kind, right? So I went through many different searches of keywords until I found a YouTube video which was just posted 2 years ago of this event. The whole thing will be linked in the description if you want to watch it. It's really beautiful. It's a beautiful sight for your eyes. And I was just so happy that there was a video of this costume. Listen, I really wanted to see this costume and boom, boom, new photos. Yeah! Now moving on, we have Manaphy. And last time the only thing I mentioned about this was that it had an eye mechanism so the eyes can change and that there was no video. And you see, I have hindsight now and realize that just sucks, so we're fixing it now. So Manaphy was made for the 2006 Pokemon Ranger in the Temple of the Sea movie and was seen for Perseverance and meet and greets during that time. Then afterwards, or maybe during the same time in 2006, Manaphy was part of a play. Yeah, I'm not sure what the play was about, but she was part of the play. Then afterwards in 2008, they would have been seen at a Pokemon Center, which also there's this photo of Manaphy with Darkrai, just like how Jirachi was in a baseball field, but I can't find a video on that, sadly. Yeah. And for the final Pokemon, or Pokemans, we have Eevee and the Evolutions. So last time I said the only Eevee and Vaporeon had costumes, which did not change, that is still a fact. However, I failed to mention that the Pokemon Company, instead of making each Evolutions their own unique costume, they first decided in 2018 to give Eevee headbands for Vaporeon, Jolteon, and Sylveon. Which honestly is very, 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 very lazy. Listen, you come on, you really couldn't be bothered to even try. And honestly, it gets even worse because in 2022, 4 years later, they decided to do evolution show, right? But they just gave Eevee some ponchos to complete the evolutions. Complete the evolutions, air quotations on that. I understand the Pokemon and the fans love the whole poncho theme. I'm one of them. I really like the Wakaza Pikachu. Wakaza, he's a top tier Pokemon. But this is honestly just cheaping out at this point. Like, you have so much time just to fall. Not even short, more like a mile. You failed like so hard, Pokemon. You fell off. Which brings us to the end. Yes, that is it. This video, I guess, will probably be like 8 minutes long. But these 8 minutes are very important. But if it ain't 8 minutes, you get it. If it ain't 8 minutes, ain't 8 minutes, bro. That's a tongue twister. And with whatever minutes it was, whatever, 5 or 7 minutes, these were very important. Yeah, I just needed to make sure that everything was right. I had to be a completionist on that. Catch them up, Pokemon. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Oh!
How do I help him? Sketch is dead. Sketch is active. Sketch, find it! Find it, Sketch! Find it! No! Sketch!